Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Mr. Cobalt, and in this video I'm going to talk about how to predict the solubility in hexane. So let's get into this. So in my previous video I talked about how to predict the solubility in water, and the same rule applies here. So whenever you're thinking or trying to predict whether something's going to be soluble in one substance or another, you need to remember the rule that like dissolves like, or like is soluble in like, right? And what that is getting at is that uh, the attractive forces are similar between the particles, right? So if you have a nonpolar substance that has London dispersion forces, and so that's going to be more likely dissolved or soluble in another substance that has London dispersion forces, so another nonpolar substance. So nonpolar substances will dissolve in other nonpolar substances. But polar substances will also dissolve in other polar substances or soluble with other polar substances. So if you've got a polar molecule, or if you got something that's polar, that's going to dissolve in water because water is polar. In this case, we have hexane, and the formula for hexane is C6H C6H14. So as you can see, C6H14 is a nonpolar substance because it's just made up of carbon and hydrogen. And so therefore, we're going to predict what is soluble or not soluble in hexane based on based on the polarity or non-polarity in this case. So ethane, you can see, for example, is C2H6. So it's just carbon and hydrogen. So this is a molecule. It's a nonpolar molecule, right? So we'll write nonpolar molecule. And because of that, we would expect it to be soluble in hexane because that is nonpolar as well, soluble. Next, we have potassium sulfide. We have a metal and a nonmetal, so that makes it ionic. So we have positive and negative charges here. So that's pretty darn polar. That's as polar as you get. So that's ionic. So we would expect this to not be so soluble in hexane. So that would be insoluble. Next, we have sodium perchlorate. Again, we have a metal with a polyatomic ion. So these are two ions. And so again, we would expect this to be not soluble in hexane because hexane is not a polar substance. So again, we would expect this to be insoluble. So ionic, insoluble in hexane. And finally, we have propylene. This is the formula for propylene, CH3, CH2. Again, it's only carbon and hydrogens. So this is a nonpolar molecule. Nonpolar molecule. Oops. And so since it's nonpolar and hexane is nonpolar, we would expect them to be soluble. So this is going to be soluble in hexane. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you predict the solubility of a substance in hexane. If it's polar, not going to be soluble in hexane. If it's nonpolar, going to be soluble in hexane. So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, if this was helpful in any way, then please like the video, share the video, hit that like button over there, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. Do it now. Click on that what do you call it? Notification bell. When you do that, make sure you click all so you can be notified by all the videos I put out. And finally, put a comment down below, a nice comment. Let me know what you think. Ask me questions. I would love to hear from you. If you have a question or a problem you want me to go over, If you have a topic you want me to cover, put that down below. I would love to do that for you. Thanks for joining me and have a great day.